Donald Trump hosted at the White House this group of conspiracy theorists and provocateurs and agitators. And during the absolutely riveting testimony of Andy Ngo, Donald Trump is fighting for his life to stay awake. Now, I've got to tell you, this is a little bit boring of a speech from Andy Ngo, but Trump is so bored by everything. And here he is just doing everything he can to stay awake, struggling to do so. And of course, Trump doesn't care about anybody other than himself. A story about what Andy Ngo says happened to him is not going to be enough to keep Trump roused.
Nearly died. And after surviving that, the reporting that I saw in liberal media was...
there goes Trump.
It seemed to suggest that I had deserved it because they branded me far right. And some even went so far...
And there goes Trump, actually eyes fully closing.
As to suggest that I maybe faked my injuries.
Yeah. Why is Trump always sleeping at events? There's the moment where his eyes really just completely closed. There's sort of like two sides to this. Side one is, this is a really stupid event Trump did at the White House, just like painfully dumb. So on the one hand, it's like, yeah, this is really boring. On the other hand, Donald Trump struggles to stay awake everywhere. That's the new thing. And while it was Sleepy Joe this and Sleepy Joe that, Trump's the guy who's falling asleep almost weekly at events. Now, at one point, this was really gross stuff. Pam Bondi says, like, we've gone after drug cartels, we're going to go after Antifa and destroy the structure of the organization. The only problem is Antifa is barely an organization and there's really no structure, but they need a target. So the new one is, we're going to go after Antifa.
It's breaking down the organization brick by brick. Just like we did with cartels, we're going to take the same approach, President Trump, with Antifa. Destroy the entire organization from top to bottom. We're going to take them apart. Thanks to your bold leadership and the designation of Antifa as a terrorist organization, which is exactly what they are, Americans will no longer tolerate their unhinged violence.
The only people even talking about Antifa, I don't know what's up with Antifa right now as this kind of decentralized cells, groups of people. It's mostly irrelevant to the national politics of the United States. Like, you don't hear the left talk about Antifa. It's all just nonsense. And here's Pam Bondi acting like this is a cartel, which has a leadership structure and central funding and sort of like a central core of command and control. Antifa's like mostly a philosophy. And every once in a while, you will see these cells where it's like some people get together around a particular event and they're there under the generic anti-fascist umbrella. What are you even really targeting here? But they need something to target, especially in the aftermath of the Charlie Kirk assassination. At another point, Donald Trump, he just can't help himself. A former Trump opponent, I guess, says, I used to have Trump derangement syndrome. Now I don't. And I got more attractive when I quit being against Trump. And Trump goes, oh, yeah, you're very attractive now.
I'm going to tell it to you anyway, because it's relevant to what we're talking about. I'm living proof that you can recover from TDS. I had strong Trump derangement syndrome for probably 8 years. This is one of the reasons I recovered from it. And by the way, it's much better to not have TDS. I'm happier, I'm healthier, more successful. I even think I got a little more attractive after I got rid of my Trump derangement syndrome. Yes.
Very attractive, says Donald Trump. Suddenly he's awake. Suddenly Donald Trump has come back to life. Pam Bondi likes it. Kristi Noem likes it. Very attractive, says Donald Trump. Wow, what an incredible, really a good use of White House time and taxpayer money. Finally, Donald Trump insisting confusedly that he understands what was on the bullets that were left behind, the shell casings from the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Trump sounds very confused here.
Charlie Kirk was assassinated by a far-left extremist who inscribed the words, "Hey, fascist, catch," meaning catch the bullet, onto the bullet shelf itself.
onto the bullet shelf itself. This was maybe the dumbest waste of taxpayer money for bringing people to the White House. And I assume the people paid their own way, but what I mean is the cost of the event, and everything you do at the White House costs money. I've been to some stuff at the White House. There's no shortage of money spent. The idea that this was worth spending my taxpayer money and your taxpayer money on, terrifying stuff. But if there's anything to look up to, it's that while the individuals selected to participate in this insanity at the White House did not speak truth to power, Fox News is now talking about Trump inflation, and that's very, very interesting.